just knocking doors here and realised that there's... Yep. So when I'm telling you there's like 50 spiders in the sky now just hanging around, like waiting to drop in my face, you don't believe me, is that what you're saying? It sounds far-fetched. Just for the people who are on my Snapchat, I just want them to know that I'm on the phone to an Australian telling them why is there 7,000 spiders above my head ready to jump down and eat me. And he says it sounds far-fetched. Excuse me, guys. Have you ever seen spiders flying in the sky?
Yeah.
You have? Yeah. You're used to that, yeah? Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm catching a flight.
Okay, so here I am out here in September, and as you can see, there's obviously a really very clear planet that is right north of the sun. And wow, I would love to say it was the moon, but since the moon happens to be right here on the opposite side, there's no way it is. And since we all have been taught in school that Mercury and Venus do not show up, oh, just look at that planet just beaming and shining right now. Somebody tell me what it is. Thank you.
Yo, I've never seen nothing like that.
I thought I was bugging. When I was standing over there, I'm like, what is that? Why is the sky purple? And it's only here. Look, this one's not that color. Oh, no, you're right. You're right. Look at that. You scared me. You definitely scared me. Check it out. Look. What the?
Like, what the... Is they here? What the heck is going on? What the fuck?
No kurwa, no i popatrz na tych debili, nie? Smog napierdala kurwa z każdej strony, a te śmiecie kurwa statkami napierdalają. Flagi wywieszają, no. Kurwa nie mają co pieniędzy napierdalać. Jebany burak, kurwa.
It's a project that's here for many, many years. Men in Black are agents that were trained to mainly be assassins, okay? And I'm not talking CIA. I'm talking about a group that you never see or hear about. It's an agency within an agency within an agency that maybe the president knows about. You understand? They do exist. 20 years ago, the movie came out and MIB was dissolved. But it wasn't dissolved. They just changed the name.
Do you know the new name?
Yes. They call it FAC. Fixers, Assassins, and Cleaners. Fix, assassinate when necessary, and you clean your surroundings when you're done.
Wow.
Yeah. You're going to hear about it, probably in 20 years. They'll make a movie about FAC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never heard that one before.
I know. Very few know about them.
Of what the CIA and the Defense Department have been doing for a long time as far as using us as guinea pigs for mind control and other types of horrible things they have in mind for us and the rest of the people in the world. What are some of them?
Well, it started out basically with the CIA doing experimentations on their own men to discover if they could get rid of agents who were going to quit the department and still had classified information. So they utilized different types of drugs and pain and hypnosis and electric shock to try and get the guys to forget. Then they also did experimentations to using different chemicals to see if you can induce a person to commit a crime or induce him to do that or to do this. Of course, the CIA claimed that it didn't carry it through. The documentation we got was actually that they did that. Then we came across the overall project called MK Ultra. Its earlier code name was Artichoke, and that included 149 sub-projects. Those, 149. Yeah. And those sub-projects range from what I just described to open-air testing in the United States, the experimentation on prisoners, experimentation on soldiers, experimentation on college students.
Would these people know they were being experimented on and gave their approval?
No, except for the quote-unquote voluntary Army soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the voluntary Army program worked is it started in 1959, and the guys were just told that they would be doing experimentation on new weapons, right? And then they get to Fort Detrick, Maryland, where the experimentation was done, and find out that they were going to be doing it on drugs and chemicals. But they were never told what they would be experimented on. You know, they just knew that they went crazy for a couple of days or so forth and so on, and then years later have similar things to the guys who have had Agent Orange, because there's just one chemical that was used called BZ, and it's 100 times stronger than LSD. It's a very gross drug that causes a person to totally go out of his head for at least 12 hours, sometimes up to 2 to 3 weeks, where he doesn't even know where he is or who he is.
Are there residual effects to BZ?
Yes. Now, the Army at first said that they'd done testing to this.
I want to speak more about an operation that you've told me about in the past. I think it happened a few years ago, before you and I were doing any of this, and before you and I, had our interaction and all that. Regarding TLS and work that they've done that you were a part of that is questionable on the surface, that I'd like to bring to awareness and just see your response. You're the first person to know, because you've also shared it on camera multiple times, that organizations like the CIA and the KGB and the Mossad and all those organizations are extremely corrupt.
Okay,
I know you said NASA is extremely corrupt. I think we all know that as well.
correct.
At the same time, there was an operation that I know that you say TLS worked in conjunction, not with, but in conjunction with the Mossad to get something done. How is it that if these organizations are so evil, TLS would work in conjunction with them on certain operations?
If the agenda fits the needs of TLS, why not?
So what happened in that case with the Mossad that they chose to work in conjunction with them?
There was a problem that they couldn't fix on their own, and they asked for help, so we came to help.
Are there any details you can give about that problem?
Details? Be more specific. What do you mean by details?
I know it has to do with plutonium being confiscated. Can you speak more about that?
It was more of a smaller nuclear device.
That was being taken away out of somebody's hands.
No, it was hidden in a structure. They couldn't find it.
When you say they, you're speaking about the Mossad.
Yes.
So does the Mossad know TLS exists? Did they call TLS?
Of course.
Do they know that TLS exists?
Of course.
What do they know about TLS?
Well, everybody knows now.
But again, you're saying that the Mossad are the evildoers. So in what world would the evildoers, the people that TLS is trying to take out and down, call TLS and say, hey guys, we need your help?
No, the Mossad is not the evildoers. The Mossad is a corrupt organization, such as the CIA. They do corrupt things for the government who employs them. It's different. Most of those guys are very, very good guys. Very brilliant. Strong guys. With a lot of life experiences.
In a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
When you said that just now, did it sound stupid to you?
Kind of.
Are dangerous things. Now that's a Predator drone. It was taken at a secretive United States Air Force base in New Mexico. Predator drones you've seen, right? You've seen them on TV, you've seen them in the newspapers. They're old. They're 20 years old, the technology. It looks very scary when the Spiegel and the ARD write modern technology and the guys in the joystick and killing people and Taliban in Afghanistan far away. But that's what a modern drone looks like. This is not a Predator, this is a Pegasus. It's an X-47B. It's owned by the Navy. It's a jet-powered machine, not like a propeller-driven Predator. It goes 2,000 miles into enemy territory. It carries 2,000 kilos worth of explosives. And it's run by artificial intelligence. It starts alone, flies its mission alone, comes back alone, and here's the clue, it lands all by itself on an aircraft carrier. Talk to any pilot you've ever met. What's the most difficult landing area you can possibly imagine? They say it's an aircraft carrier. Short runway, things moving, very hard. This thinking drone can do it. But here are the two keys to Pegasus. Pegasus is invisible. Now, I'm not talking about stealth and being invisible to radar. I'm talking about invisible to the human eye. And you won't find this in any newspaper anywhere. It's invisible to the human eye because the bottom has an LED layer on it, and the top has cameras, which have been removed here in the picture, which film the sky, and they project on the bottom a live picture of the clouds up above the aircraft, and you can hardly see it. And they're responsible for a lot of these UFO sightings in Nevada near the testing areas.
We did secure some footage of the flying disc in the hangar. The code name for the project is Equipe, and it has been designed for humans to fly. We asked the scientist in charge of the project what propulsion system the craft uses, but he would not divulge what he called classified information. What is clear is that Taryelka is aimed at the commercial market, not the military. The Russian engineers here at Saratov see this as an alternative to aeroplane transport in the 21st century.
It's just fucking airplanes, man. It's condensation. It's totally natural. Heat, cold air makes these trails, bro. You're by an airport. And contrails and chemtrails are different. Contrails dissipate within 30 seconds. That's normal. But chemtrails, when there's metallic particles in them, they stay over your head in the sky all day and spread out and completely cover a perfectly clear day. And here's a video from 2 years ago of John Brennan, the director of the CIA, at the CFR, the Council on Foreign, in front of the Illuminati. Now they're saying we're gonna save the world from global warming. Check this out.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat